Hi there, it's Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com. This is video 2 of my card obstruction memorization challenge, or memory obstruction card memorization challenge, however you want to call it. So in the last video I was talking about memorizing on a train with all kinds of people making noise, in cafes with all kinds of people making noise. I did that again, and yesterday there was the most amazing experience because in a cafe, not only was traffic just going by, busy, but there were also guys in the kitchen singing along to really, really loud music. So there was She Drives Me Crazy by Fine Young Cannibals, which I hadn't heard for years, and these guys are singing along to it while I'm trying to memorize cards. And there were also two very nice looking women sitting across from me as well, and one of them was from Canada, and she was talking about Queen's University and all this sort of stuff that I know, places that I've been. So I'm sitting there trying to memorize these cards and being assaulted on all sides by the things that are interesting. And actually I got it under 10 minutes. Now here's something very, very important that I realized from the last video and the responses that I got from the last video by email and talking to other memory aficionados, people who memorize stuff. And okay, so I was talking about how hard I struggled on the train with these cards, and how I was just shocked how in silence with my earphones on, or my earplugs on, how I can do a deck of cards under 5 minutes, just in silence, total concentration. But having my concentration broken while in a busy place was under 15 minutes, and I was just completely blown away that it was taking that long. But I thought, I'm getting stronger. These are the obstructions. Here's what I learned, but from other people, that is really, really important, is that when they memorize a deck of cards, they time how long it took them to get it into memory. They're not including the time of actually recalling the cards, the testing, right? So that's a big difference. That's a really big difference. I am memorizing the cards and then taking a pause and then recalling them. That's a huge difference. So I actually can cut my times in half, which both feels really good and also feels authentic, actually, to not cut them in half and just keep them the way they are. Because the time, look, memorization occurs in recall. You haven't memorized something that you haven't recalled. So I think that they should be included together in your times if you're doing this. And I hope that you are. So this is my discovery. Now, the other thing is that I find very, very powerful, as I was mentioning in the last video, is that in isolation, in silence, just doing it on my own without any distraction or minimal distraction. Maybe there's a bit of street traffic, but again, I got the earplugs. What I have found is that I need to make compounded images a lot stronger when I'm doing this with obstructions. So I need to have what would normally be just Jim Carrey for King of Clubs to be Jim Carrey in a gym, maybe with Jim Croce. Does anyone even know who Jim Croce is anymore? He's a great singer. And I need to bring all these things together, compounded. And Jennifer Lopez for Nine of Clubs has to be Jennifer Lopez. It used to just be Leap, whatever that was. Like, it's just the concept of leaping. Now it has to be Jennifer Lopez, and sometimes she's leaping, depending on the context. So really what I was thinking about is that this is a lot like painting. It's a lot like, one of the Dutch masters, maybe Vermeer, would mix paints very, very in a detailed way and get the color that they're looking for. This is very, very much what it's like. You're doing this in your mind. You're mixing and you're mixing and you're mixing until you get just that right granular thing. Then you bang, got the card, and then you go on to the next one. So getting really fast, getting under 9 minutes now in completely distracting places, and that's really cool. And that's the memorization and the recall, right, at the testing. Now, here's another thing about the testing is that I put the deck away, and then I write down what the cards were in the order. Now, what I have heard is that other people don't do this when they practice. What they do is they have two decks of cards, and they have one they're both in the order that they're memorizing. So they will memorize, or no, one is in the they shuffle one deck of cards and they memorize it, and then they take another deck of cards and they reconstruct that deck in the order of the cards that they memorize. Now that seems to me like an obstruction in and of itself, because not only are you trying to recall the cards that you memorized, but you're actually looking through cards that are not your cards while you are reconstructing the deck. But that just seems like a really slow process. I'm going to try both, but it's interesting to reconstruct a deck. And then what they do is they take the deck that they've memorized, and then they pair it against the deck that they've recalled, that they've reconstructed. And so they'll go card through card through card through card, and anytime that you get a mismatch, then the game is over. You've essentially lost. But yeah, that is not what I'm doing. I'm recalling much faster by just writing down the order, which is just AC for ace of clubs, 2C for two of clubs, etc., etc., and that goes very, very, very quickly. Although with these obstructions and loud sounds and people walking past and people talking about university campuses that I'm familiar with and singing along with the radio, yeah, the concentration is a little bit slow, but it's getting faster. So today I'm flying from Edinburgh up in the sky, and I'm going to memorize during takeoff and landing and see how much that screws with my concentration.